here at in downtown LA, Novera Street at the Placita Square.
And the dominant ethnic group here is the Mexican culture.
See, the enclave is fairly small and it mainly consists of the church, which is here right across from the main plaza. And these little squares where on Novera Street are the stands where they sell most of their products, and surrounding them are either restaurants or historic buildings and museums or other stores. Some reasons why many people might migrate here to this enclave is because to open like businesses where they could share their culture with the rest of the world.
And some push and pull factors on why they might want to come to the U.S. is because of poverty and also because there's a lot of better economic opportunities over here. The landscape here is very different from what I've seen before. All the buildings are very cathedral type and very historic, and they have a lot of detail on them. And also all the little stores are they're very close together because the enclave is very small, and also all the stores are very compact.
Yeah, and a lot of what they sell in the stores, like the food and the clothes, like they're very traditional, as well as like the music. There's like salsa music and like mariachi bands and like dresses and like flowers for your hair and like a lot of jewelry as well. We ate taquitos that had like the ingredients were like guacamole and like beef taquitos.
And also I had agua fresca, which is a very traditional Mexican drink. It was made with strawberry, I think, and water. And also we had churros, which is also very traditional food.
Yeah, and they were really good.
Yeah, they're very different from like the American type ones because they were like filled with chocolate, which is more how they make it in Mexico.
Things that we saw in the stores were like religious paintings, and like a lot of like the clothes also had crosses on it, or like the Virgin Mary on it as well.
And I feel like this does help us kind of like understand the culture more.
The church plays a big role because like we pass by the church and there's like religious events like baptisms going on as well.
From what I've seen, there's not a lot of like mixtures between the modern world and the traditional style. They do try to keep it very authentic by speaking predominantly Spanish.
A lot of the products that we saw were like handmade products, and like the bags were handmade, and like the belts were handmade, and like also a lot of references to the country were like on bracelets. There was like names of certain like cities there, like Jalisco and Guadalajara.
And a lot of the like little foods and snacks that they sold were traditional Mexican candies.
Like mazapan.
Yeah, and also the toys that they had were also very handmade, and they were
like traditional as well.
Yeah. In a lot of the stores, they put up like the Mexican flag, which is I feel like a way for them to like represent themselves.
Yeah. What they sold like in the businesses were like traditional like food, clothes, and like toys, and like a popular like toy, or not a toy but like a game that's very popular in Mexico is like the loteria, and you really saw that through like a lot of businesses had it.
The businesses that we saw, a lot of them kind of sold like souvenirs as kind of like a memento of the enclave. And also I saw a lot of like candle shops, and I feel like those are important for the culture because they're mostly used for like religious purposes.
Yeah, and like a lot of games that they sold were like popular games from Mexico, like the Loteria. Some interesting items that we saw like that were really new to us and we've never really seen before were like we saw lollipops with like worms inside of them, and we thought like those were pretty like weird.
And also we were in the leather shop earlier, and we saw like them selling like a hoof of a cow. It was kind of, if I felt it was a little weird.
Yeah. And like it's interesting because like they're used like for different things, and like the cow like hoof, like you could see that it was used like to put like you could put water in. So I think it's very important to like for people who just moved to the United States to find a place where they fit in, and to do that, like enclaves have like a lot of culture and a lot of tradition, so I feel like they're more inclined to like be attracted to the enclaves because they fit, it's easier for them to fit in.
Helps them like preserve the culture that they have.
If I lived in like a different country and there was like an American enclave in that country, I think I'd be more like inclined to go to that enclave because it's just easier, like again, to fit in, and you're already used to things, so I feel like it's just like easier to get used to.
And me personally, I would also like, if I just moved to a new country, I would also try to find like a US enclave or American one, because I feel like it's easier to like connect with people and find people that you have something in common with, and it also makes you feel more at home.